This is the Hoyer lift. This is the swivel bar, where the patient will be attached in order to be lifted. This is the pump. You will lift the patient by pumping this part up and down. It also rotates into the direction you're in for easier access. This is the handbrake. Left is to open the lock for lowering the patient. Right is for locking it while patient is being transferred. This is the spreader bar, used to open and close the Hoyer's legs. Please rotate towards you and around to open or close. This is the caster brake. There is one on each side, used to lock the Hoyer lift in place. Let's move this to the side. And I'll show you this, which is the Hoyer's sling. This places the long way to cover patient's shoulders, back, and thighs. This part goes on top. Let's place it on the bed, nice and neatly. No wrinkles. This is the chain. There are two chains, one for the left side and one for the right side. Each chain has a ring separating for shoulders and legs. Remember that each chain has two hooks. Ensure the hooks away from the patient when attaching them to the sling. Remember, the short end of the chain is for the shoulders and the long end is for the legs. We'll attach it just like so. We'll grab the other one. And we'll attach it to the sling. Remember to wash your hands before and after any care for patient. And remember to wear your gloves. Always bring the chair towards the end of the bed. Make sure the brakes are locked on each side of the chair. And set up all material before transferring the patient. Before beginning the transfer, explain to the patient what you will be doing. Remove covers from patient neatly to get them out of the way. In order to place the sling, we want to make sure to fold it in half and measure so that it is from shoulder down to the knee. Make sure you cross the patient's arms and legs. Have the opposite side rail lifted. When turning patient, one hand on the patient's shoulder and one hand on the hip. Gently turn the patient on their side. Hold on to the patient so that they don't roll back and adjust the sling behind them. Make sure there are no creases on the sling. Turn the patient on their back for a few seconds. Cross the legs in opposite direction. Turn the patient towards you gently and stretch out the sling onto the other side. If the sling is not even on both sides, adjust it so patient is in the middle. Take the chain and remember the short end towards shoulder, the long end towards legs. The hooks must go away from the patient to avoid injuring the patient. Once the patient is set up on the bed, push the Hoyer towards the bed. Make sure the swivel bar is set across the patient's stomach. Take the spreader bar and spread the legs of the Hoyer open for balance. Lock the caster brakes. Place the chain rings onto the swivel bar. Make sure the handbrake is locked and begin to pump patient up while supporting the patient's head. Once the patient is off the bed, unlock the brakes. Pull the Hoyer about 2 feet away from the bed. Hold the back of the patient's ankles and turn towards the Hoyer. While holding onto the sling, turn the Hoyer to face the wheelchair. If the patient cannot be pushed to the chair, bring the chair towards the patient. Lock the wheelchair. Slowly unlock the handbrake to lower the patient. Make sure the patient's back is aligned with the chair. Also ensure the patient's head does not bump the swivel bar. Take the chains off, leave the sling under the patient, and you have completed the Hoyer lift transfer from bed to chair. To transfer the patient back to the bed, ensure the sling is aligned with the patient's shoulders. Place all hooks away from the patient. Double check the rings are secured into the swivel bar, and lock the wheelchair. Lock the caster brakes on the Hoyer lift. Lower the side rails off the bed. Lock the handbrake. Begin to pump patient while holding patient's head. Once the patient is high enough, remove the wheelchair. Unlock it and push back. Turn the Hoyer towards the bed. Take the back of the patient's ankles and turn legs onto the bed. Center the Hoyer and the patient on the bed. Slowly unlock the handbrake to lower patient while holding back of patient's head. Adjust the pillow for patient's comfort. Remove the chains. Pull the Hoyer back. Cross patient's legs. Turn patient away from you. Remove the sling. Turn patient on their back. Raise the side rail. Promote patient comfort. And you have completed the Hoyer lift transfer from wheelchair to bed. Thank you, and welcome to Hope Home Care.